All right, we continue on page 50, and we're going to see activity C, which is reporting verbs and structures. Uh, as I told you, we use say and tell to report sentences, to say sentences in the indirect speech or in the reported speech. But we can also use other verbs. For example, we've got ask, order, remind, tell, and warn. We're using them in the past tense because, as I told you, we need this time distance to talk about the reported speech so that we don't make mistakes. We can also use recommend and suggest, and we are going to see why these two groups of verbs are in different groups. Okay, if we've got this, which is go home, this is an order. Vete a casa, vete a casa. So we could say Paula asked us to go home. Or we can also say Paula ordered us to go home. Or Paula reminded us to go home. Paula told us to go home. Or even Paula warned us to go home. Ask is translated as demanar, pedir. Order is ordenar. Remind is recordar. Told is ens va dir, Paula ens va dir que anarem a casa. And the warn is avisar, ens va avisar de que ens anarem a casa. Okay. We also could have these verbs recommend and suggest in the other sentence. Look, you should go home. This is a recommendation. This is a suggestion. Deuries d'anar a casa. So Paula recommended that we go home, or Paula suggested that we go home. So here, what you have to bear in mind is that we use this structure. We don't use the object pronoun as in the first examples. We use that and a sentence with a subject and a verb. Okay, Paula recommended that we go home. Be careful because if you translate into Spanish, we don't have the same. It's not possible. Paula ens va recomanar que nosaltres anarem a casa. Paula ens va suggerir que nosaltres anarem a casa. So we don't use the object pronoun here with these two verbs. We can also do when we have sentences with should, when we recommend or when we suggest someone to do something, when we suggest or recommend someone doing something, we use the ing form. We're going to use to, all right, as we do in the first examples. Paula recommended going home. Paula suggested going home. Here you have the answers, just in case you want to have a look. Be careful because when we use the negative, we use Paula asked us not to go home. So we must use not before to because it's the negative of an infinitive with to. All right? And in the second case, Paula recommended that we go home. Paula recommended that we didn't go home. Or if we use the continuous tense, the ing form, we would say Paula recommended not going home. I hope you can understand and you can do activity exercise 4 on page 51.